Everybody, Steve Burns here from Criminolution.com. So this is the what I wanted to show you at the end of the class, and it has to do with anchor points. So once again, right up here, I have my texture overall, which is the wood texture, and the wood texture has a mask associated with it. So if we hit the Alt click on the mask, you get to see what I've done to the mask. So white is revealing the details, black is concealing the details. If we alt click, or we come back and click on the color thumbnail, it brings back your color. So in another layer right above it, we have our stencil. We placed the stencil using right over here it's actually the fifth tool down on the left hand side, actually the fourth tool down on the left hand side on your tools bar. If we go to that layer there, this is the one I've been using. So the projection tool. So the projection tool will project stencils onto the handle. But at the same time, I want that projection or that stencil to take on this scratching out effect that we have on the handle. So to do so, the first thing that you need to do is go right over here to your mask for your texture, or specifically the mask that's creating the texture that we see here. Right click on that mask, and what you're going to do is you're going to add an anchor. So anchor points, now I've already done so I'm going to click this one off. So I already done, so I have an anchor right down here in the bottom. Now anchors work like adjustment layers in Photoshop. The layer that's sitting on top of everything else will recognize everything underneath it and make adjustments accordingly to all layers underneath it. So you want to make sure that this anchor is directly sitting on top. Now we want to turn back on our stenciled image. Done with that was actually done with the. I'm gonna go over this little tool right over here. By clicking it on, you can actually get to see stencils. So done with the projection here. So I'm going to come back, go back to the brush here, go back to the top layer. I'm gonna turn the eyeball on and off so you can see what we're doing. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a fill command. So right click, and we're gonna fill with a white mask. All right, so I'm adding a white mask. After we add the white mask, or the mask filled with white, I'm going to right click on that mask, and we're going to come down here and we're going to add a fill to this. Okay, so now that the fill has been added to it, the very last thing I want to do, which is the very last thing I forgot about, is come right down here to the properties panel, come all the way down to the bottom where it says grayscale uniform color. I think Adobe could organize this better in terms of finding these things, but this is where it's going to be located. So if I left click on it, you get all by default resources and all the various types of masking resources or texturing resources. If we scroll down, we can see all the other resources that we have available to us inside of Substance Painter. That's not what we're interested in. We're interested in the anchor point. Just to the right hand side, click on the anchor point. There's our axe handle color mask right there. It's listing it. The same nomenclature as this one right here for the anchor. Can't miss it. If I click it, look at what I've done. Now that texture is taking on, or that stencil is taking on all the texture that I applied based on the axe handle here color mask. Isn't that cool? That's very cool. So if we take it, rotate it around, that now becomes part of that effect. Alright, that was it. That's what I wanted to show you. Hopefully that was helpful. Steve Burns from Criminolution.com, signing off.